Hey everyone, Holden Hamilton, GFS Home Loans. So grateful you guys are here today. I have a very special guest with me, Amy Carter. She is going to say a little something about herself and introduce herself. Today, again, just going over just things in the market, right? What's going on in the world right now in the real estate market, how to become a top producer if you're not already one. Amy has closed well over $300 million in real estate over her career, which is an astonishing number. So I'm really excited to go over some things with her today. Amy, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Amy Carter, and I have recently opened my own brokerage just called Carter Fine Homes.
Awesome.
Been operating as a team since 2011, just under Carter Fine Homes, and then broke off from the corporate brokerage and just started my own little boutique brokerage.
Awesome.
So I've been doing real estate 22 years, been married 30 years.
Wow,
to
congratulations.
My husband, Michael.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we have two kids, Griffin, who's married to Callie. They live in Austin. And then our daughter, Faith, is at UTSA.
Yeah. And I love that you bring up family. And that's something that we try and do here is, it's not just business. We get that, we were talking about this before the cameras were on is, a work-life balance, right? It doesn't really exist in our world. But we try. And I think that's, something that we'll discuss today. So 300 million in production, top 1% San Antonio. How did you get there? What was it that got you to that spot that you felt that you could, just keep the ball rolling? What was almost a turning point for you, or a daily regimen? Just how did you get there?
Yeah, so really, I got my real estate license thinking I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
My son was going into kindergarten. We wanted another baby, and it just wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, what am I going to do? And so my best friend was like, let's be realtors together.
Love it.
And I was like, awesome. That'll be so fun.
Yeah.
And I got my license and she didn't. And then I think the probably month I got my license, I got pregnant with my daughter.
Okay.
So I was very part-time for the first few years.
Right.
We wound up moving to the Rio Grande Valley. So started in San Antonio. But what happened there, I'm really not sure how I stumbled into this position. But I wound up team leading, actually launching a Keller Williams office. Okay. And was really not qualified probably to do that. I was not a fit for that. So I will totally
accept it and move on.
I accept it. I know it.
Yeah.
However, I learned so much.
Right.
And we were wanting to get back to San Antonio. So I told my husband one day, I was like, I think we can go back to San Antonio.
Yeah.
I can start a team.
Yeah.
And I know how to do this now.
There you go.
So we did. So came back 2011. That was when internet leads were like not what they are now.
Exactly.
We got a Boomtown license, and at the time, Boomtown only allowed, I think, 3 people to have license in San Antonio.
Wow.
So it was almost like an immediate cash cow.
For
just
sure.
really working those internet leads. My husband was helping me at the time, and we would literally sit at the kitchen table till 11 o'clock at night.
Wow.
Just following up on these leads.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it started.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of grew and
you built off of that.
And we've had the big team, scaled everything back in 2020. So it's me, and I've got 2 other girls that work with me. And so, we've gone big, kind of scaled back to go a little smaller. My husband's not involved in the business anymore. He's kind of doing his own thing.
Yeah.
But that's basically kind of how it started.
Okay. And so, and I like that you kind of gave a background on, it was almost immediate, right? And I think a lot of agents don't see immediate success, right?
That's true.
And so I think that that's so beneficial because I had a very similar situation where I got in the business in 2020, right when rates hit 2.5, right? Yeah. And so it was easier to make those phone calls, and it was easier for agents to give us a shot, right? Because they had more business. So I think that's important. But what I also think is important is to talk about how if that wouldn't have happened so quickly, that would you still have got there? And I think the answer is yes, just from knowing you.
Well, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Because no, it wasn't immediate. Because by 2011, I'd been licensed since 2003.
Yeah, right.
So it was almost immediate here in San Antonio, but that was because literally I'd been training realtors for I think I was team leading for maybe 18 months or 2 years. So I was getting the top training in the world. And so, yes, that first year back, I think we did like almost 10 million in sales just that 1 year.
Yeah.
It was just me and Michael.
That's crazy.
but there was, the layers were behind it for sure.
Yeah, you had put in the time before that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a question, as the videos we've posted and some of the things that we've gone over, one of the biggest questions we get is, hey, I'm a new agent. I love these, I get everyone's talking about repeat business and, all of that stuff. It's like, I don't know anyone in the area I'm in or anything. And I just think it's important to understand that it takes time. I mean, some of the
1,000%.
best agents in the world that I work with, that you work with, yourself included, it takes 5, 10, 15 years to build a truly massive business. And I think people forget that sometimes.
Well, for sure. When we would train, or when I would train new agents on our team, I'm like, this is a marathon.
Right.
This is not a sprint. It may look like it's a sprint right now. But it's not. I mean, it's a lot of time on task overtime. A lot of no's, a lot of weird drama. I mean, but at the end of the day, it's great.
Yeah, it's a great way to build wealth. And I know that we don't have control over our time all the time, especially when you're new, but you eventually get that. And I think that's why we get into real estate in the first place, is we want to be our own, boss, and we want to set our own hours and things like that. So
for sure.
That makes sense. Good.
For sure.
Well, I know you started in, with Boomtown, right? We talked about that a little bit. How did you build off that a little bit? I know you're really big in farming. And you're really big on repeat business. So kind of walk us through what you had success with in farming. Because when someone introduced me to you, they were like, this is a farming queen, right?
Oh, really?
Yes, that's the first thing I remember. Yep. And this is the farming and Boomtown queen, I think they said. And so I want to get your take on how you do that. How did you scale it, and why is it important?
So Boomtown, internet leads. Yeah. There's nothing, I don't know, it's not sexy.
It's not.
It's not.
It's ugly.
It's ugly, and people are not happy to hear from you.
Yeah.
And over time, that got hard.
Yeah.
So I knew pretty early on, I don't want to do this forever. So that's where we had a team, and we're like, you guys go do it.
Right.
I went to a class. It was probably like a KW mega camp, and there was somebody on the stage talking about farming and the results that they got from it. And they said they had the mindset that they were going to be the mayor of whatever this area they were in. Yeah. So we bought a house in this neighborhood here in San Antonio in 2012. And in my head, it was just like a mental thing. Like, I didn't really want to be the mayor of my neighborhood, but I wanted to be the person that everybody would call.
Right, that they thought of when they were ready to sell or buy. Yeah.
And so it was just very deliberate over 13 years. So reaching neighbors, just a postcard. Yeah. I also didn't accost people. I didn't want people to be like, oh my gosh, there's that realtor, run.
Run. Yeah.
So just getting involved in the neighborhood, staying consistent. I think I've sent a postcard every month to every house in my farm.
Wow.
For 13 years.
Wow.
Other things, I realized there was no Facebook page.
There you go.
So I did a neighborhood Facebook page. Yeah. And I talk about everything but real estate.
Love it.
In the Facebook page. Because again, people want a real conversation.
Yeah, they want a relationship.
It's all really built on relationship.
Right. Yeah.
And then just getting involved. If there's not like some kind of activity starting it. So we do something called First Friday in our neighborhood, and there's a book club. And I go when I can, and just over the years, it just kind of morphed into getting more and more listings.
Right.
And then the greatest thing is, like, just earlier this week, a neighbor called and said her mom wants to sell her house in a neighborhood and she wants to buy somewhere else. And so I'm like, so it's just
compounding.
Grown. So this 150 home farm, I mean, it's called a farm, but really to me, these are kind of my people.
Right.
Like, they're my friends now. Like,
you
our
build
closest
relationships
friends.
with them. Yeah.
Just being able to build off of that has turned into, like, really just a great business. Yeah. But it's not overnight, because people will say, oh, I want a farm, and they'll be like, I've got 1,000 homes in my farm. And I'm like, well, that's a ranch. That is not a farm. And agents talk about how expensive it is. Yeah. Because I had dinner with some agents last week, and the one was saying that she was spending $1,000 a month, and one was saying she's spending $2,000 a month. And I was like, That's too much.
Yeah, way too much. Way too much.
Because I think my farm budget, I think I spend $300 a month.
Yeah. And we know, we train people. We think that's a great way to get business. But I'm of the opinion is that $1,000 to $2,000 a month is, even if you're making $15,000, $20,000 on a listing, the odds of you getting one are so slim anyways, even if you are farming at a high level.
Yeah, and I'm not to say that won't work.
Of course.
Because it could, and probably will,
Right.
because these are solid agents.
Mm-hmm.
For me, though, I was just like, I've done it for so long on kind of a different level.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, and so it's been very fulfilling, it's just great because the phone rings. I already know right now.
Yeah, you know it.
Because I tell everybody the time, because, the other thing is, like, we're Military City, USA,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we know when those PCS moves are coming.
Right.
And those are coming earlier now.
Yep.
And so I tell everybody, if you're selling in the spring, I used to say, like, April, be ready by April 15th. I'm like, February 1, we got to be ready.
Yeah, got to start it.
No, we're on the market February 1.
Wow.
And most of those sell in a couple of days.
Wow.
For whatever reason, if we wait later, they set. And so, because I think for our area, it's a lot of military buyers coming in.
Yeah, no, it is.
All over the city.
Mm-hmm.
So just learning those cycles too has helped, and being able to come in kind of as an expert to say, like, historically, this is what has happened.
Right.
Historically, this is what to expect.
And you already know it because you've been through it and you know the area. And I love that. I really do. And I think that that's something that a lot of newer agents especially feel. They're like, well, I don't know that area, or I haven't seen those cycles and I haven't done that. But people have laid the path before you, right? And you can use those same statistics and know those same things
1,000%.
and use that to your advantage. And something my dad taught me when I first got the business is, hey, it's not I'm a new loan officer, right? It doesn't matter how long you've been in the business. It matters about what you know.
1,000%.
And when I was 18 years old, cold calling, right? It's not sexy, but I was cold calling people. It's horrible. I hated it. Everyone didn't want to hear from you. It sucks. It really does.
Yeah.
But it was a way to generate an income and, and get people to know you and build a relationship with them. And then you can expand off of that. So I love that you said that. One of the things that we like to ask people on this is, now that you've been in the business for a long time, you've obviously had amazing success. If you could go back in time, okay, and say to those days when you were, in Boomtown and you were first in the business, what would you change? What would be one thing you would have done differently to set you up for success today that you didn't do, that you would go, man, if I would have done that 15 years ago, I would have just blown up, right? What would be one thing, do you think? I know that's a tough question.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, hire a CPA.
Yeah. Love that answer. I really do. Yeah.
Incorporate right away.
Yeah.
Have someone that is really guiding you, because I'm not so, like, on the disc.
Yeah.
I'm like an I.
Okay.
So I like people. Yeah. I'm pretty steady. My husband's an off the charts high D.
Yeah.
Neither of us have any C.
Yeah.
And so, the CPA is huge there.
Right.